The two most powerful warriors, patience and time. "20 years from now, I wonder what the history books will say. Will there be an honest and, more importantly, accurate depiction of the events that have unfolded over the last 6 years? The way things are looking, my expectations aren't too high." This is ridiculous.
It's hotter than a you-know-what in church out here. You know, if you live in Florida, that's one of the things you have to get used to. The heat. You know, I've lived here for well over 40 years. And I've got some news for you. It was just as hot then as it is now. Weather is cyclical. Some years are hotter than others. And you can follow the science on that. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm really growing tired of all this climate stuff. I mean, it's very hard to take the climate people seriously when they're all invested in green energy.
Al Gore made $330 million with his climate alarmism. The former VP made a fortune after losing to George W. when he set up a green investment firm now worth $36 billion with a B. He earns $2 million a month from this firm as he warns about rain bombs and boiling oceans.
Yeah, boiling rain. I don't think so. And then there's John Kerry.
And of course, John Kerry sold his shares of oil before becoming the climate czar to avoid conflict. That is, after warning we only had 9 years to save the world.
You know what's really funny is how he was all fine with investing in fossil fuels before he became the climate czar. Come on, people. You know what's going on here. And if you don't, you need to open your eyes just a little bit wider.
What's really rich are these climate activists all fly around on their private jets, burning fossil fuel, while telling you and I not to. Really makes me want to just go out and buy another SUV and burn that fuel. But have you seen the latest? As I record this on August 25th, on This Morning News, the crazies in our government, wait for it, we're coming after your ceiling fan.
First the gas stoves, then the dishwashers, and then the water heaters.
And now the Biden administration apparently cracking down on ceiling fans.
You know, here in Florida, we really love our ceiling fans because it's hot. And last time I checked, there was no major carbon emission out of a freaking ceiling fan. But yet, they're coming after them. I kid you not. When will the insanity stop? I don't think you've been living under a rock, but if you're not aware, our government is coming after all of your appliances. That's right. Your air conditioner, like over my dead body, your dishwasher, your refrigerator, your dryer, your water heater, gas stove, yeah. They don't want you to have a gas stove. And now your ceiling fan. It's all part of ESG.
ESG, real or marketing?
It's a complete fraud.
And we had about 448 different ESG-related company engagements with boards and executive management last year. For us, it's much more of a risk mitigation tool.
It's a fraud because it's not better for shareholders. It's not better for stockholders.
And you can bet your bottom dollar there are those in government that are invested in these green energy companies and products. So, what do all of these green regulations mean for you? It means no soup and higher bills. And if you're buying a house, National Builders Association says all these green policies are going to add $95,000 to the cost to build a house. Let's just call it $100K. And I'm sure there's some tree hugger out there that'll say, oh, but it saves you on your electric bill. Well, check this out. On a dishwasher, for instance, it saves you a whopping $1.12 per year. Now, am I gonna pay 30% more for an appliance that's gonna save me a flippin' dollar? Now, I think at least 50% of America knows what's going on here. At least I hope. It's the young ones that I worry about. You know, they've been drinking the Kool-Aid, and they've bought this green ideology hook, line, and sinker.
How dare you!
Now, these green regulations are designed to change society. They're not just here in the United States. This is also part of the World Economic Forum's Great Reset, to change the way you and I do things and to control our lives.
Their sole purpose is supposed to be to make money for their shareholders. It forces companies to go out and figure out how they can serve their fellow human being, whether that be growing food, cooking food, producing goods and services that you want to buy. Well, fascism takes that idea and it allows you to keep the private ownership component in a way, but it also hijacks the purpose of the company away from making profit, away from serving the consumer, and toward government-approved goals. And that's what we're seeing with the ESG.
With ESG, you'll have less control over everything. What you buy, where you go, they don't want you to fly, how much money you'll be able to save. If everything costs more, you're not able to save as much money. I mean, if you're looking to buy a home, the houses are going to cost more, especially on new construction. The electric costs more because they're pushing everything to be electric. The insurance is costing more, so they're squeezing middle America to make everything more expensive for you. It's very difficult to control someone who is financially independent, someone who owns their own home, someone not dependent on the government. And they want to make you dependent because that's how they control you. Now, the best part about making a video like this is I get to read your comments. It's very therapeutic for me. So make sure you type some comments below. Let me know how you feel about the ceiling fan thing and any of the appliance restrictions, regulations, what you think about that, because I would love to know. Now, of course, with everything increasing, it does affect your retirement, because if everything costs more, that means your dollar doesn't go as far. You know, with the cost of everything going up, houses, appliances, utilities, it affects your retirement. That means your retirement doesn't go as far when things cost more. And I hate to break it to you, but ESG has its tentacles in your retirement plan. If you've got a 401k, an IRA, a pension plan, ESG is messing around with it.
Is ESG at least good for shareholders, for the people saving for retirement through 401ks and pension funds? A study in 2020 by the Center for Retirement Research at Boston College casts doubt on that as well.
And if you learned anything in this video or found it helpful, make sure to smash that like button, because it does take time and energy for me to actually research these topics, and you could at least show me your gratitude hitting that like button. If you haven't subscribed, you should make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell, because I've got my next video talking about your retirement plan and how ESG affects that. Stay tuned.
They use our money to advocate for those principles in corporate America that makes companies less successful. And as we've seen this year, has actually contributed to stock market declines as well, in my opinion. And the ESG specific funds this year, Glenn, have actually underperformed the broader market as a whole, even though the broader market as a whole has already done badly enough. And I think a big part of why the broader market has done badly is in part because of the demands of these ESG-linked asset managers, but the ESG-specific funds have done even worse.